Hello and welcome back to another video. Today going to be talking through some of the details spotted in the State of Play showcase, bit of a summary, quick summary of what I spotted in there, what I'm looking forward to most, and some of the most important details. So I'm going to start off with the new cars spotted in the trailer, which are the first things I really noticed looking through, and the ones that stood out were the likes of the BMW 3-litre CSL, Ferrari Testarossa, and Ferrari F8 Tributo, to name a few of the most prominent ones. We were then also shown a 400 plus full car list from the game. I won't list all of them, but I'll show some slowed down footage from the trailer of this. Feel free to pause and take a look at some closer up if you want to, but I'll name a few that do stand out to me, including the Alfa Romeo 8C, slightly to the left on the top row, two versions of the 3-litre CSL that I picked out earlier, to the right of the fourth row, a DeLorean 2 down from that on the 7th row, the F8 Tributo that I picked out earlier, slightly to the left of the 8th row, the Plymouth Superbird in the middle of the 16th row, the Testarossa that I picked out earlier, furthest right on the 18th row, and those are the ones that kind of stand out to me. If there's anything you find looking closer that you think I've missed that's new or interesting, or one of your particular favourites, do let me know if you, what you spot in there, because I looked as closely as I could, but there's many rows of cars that are all quite small, so it's very possible I've missed something. We then find out there are going to be a total of 34 tracks with 90 layouts at launch, and they did confirm that they will be adding more in updates, so we've got that to look forward to further down the line. We also see a closer look at some of the locations on the home map, starting with Brand Central, which looks like a huge shopping centre full of cars for sale, and they said there'll be roughly 300 cars in here, which will be all of the cars in the game built after 2001. Then we were shown the used car dealer again, which we know is returning, but the 3-litre CSL and the Testarossa that I spotted earlier in the trailer are both in here as well. And then we have the third place you can buy cars from, the Brighton Antiques Legendary Cars, which is for the most exclusive legendary cars from the past, so it'll basically be where all the expensive stuff that costs millions and millions of in-game credits will be bought from. We then see the return of mission races with some unique events, such as drag racing and drifting, shown as examples, which looks like fun. Hopefully there will be several variations of drag race to different lengths and things, and we can do that online. And some drifting is always good to see, although that was in sport, so that's just being carried forward. We also see the feature of split screen is returning, which is really cool to see, because it's a very simple feature, but it's very unusual these days with online. They just assume you don't actually see your friends. So yeah, that is a cool thing to have, because it is quite useful to two people be able to play a game at once. They then featured and kind of showcased their new dynamic weather that they've been developing, which is simulated naturally and differently based on the region you're racing in, to keep it accurate to wherever that region may be, which sounds very complicated, is probably simpler than they're making it out to be, but it's a cool feature, and having dynamic weather and time of day at the launch is good to see, because that was obviously missing when Sport first came out. Then we move on to the tuning and customization, which is a bit particularly exciting, especially some of the new features and stuff we've seen in the past, and some of the things they announced in this trailer. So they said there'll be approximately 60 types of performance parts per car. There was also images picking different brake calipers in different colours. It looked to be custom wings that you kind of assemble yourself, a bit like in old Gran Turismo games, where you'd pick the style, but it looked like they showed you picking different end plate shapes. So I'm thinking you can probably pick the sort of wing supports, top, and the end plates, and make your own custom wings, which looks really cool. They said there will be over 650 aero parts, so that might be combinations of those. Over 130 wheels, over 1,200 paint colours, and a total of several thousand customization parts across the whole game. So they really are going wild with this. Many cars will have body kits. Well, maybe not many, but we know some cars will have body kits as well. So they are kind of going for the customization a bit this time, because it's not always been a huge feature in Gran Turismo, but it does look quite impressive from what I've seen. Don't expect it to be on everything, but the cars we've seen it on so far do look quite good. And moving on in other areas of customization, they also showed some footage of the updated livery editor with improvements such as allowing you to place your decals on windows, which is something Forza still haven't managed despite people requesting it since, well, the Ice Age. And yeah, so you can place things on windows, which is really cool. They kind of showcased how that could be used. And there's also an increased layer limit, which is always useful to allow you to make even more complex things, spending even more time making them. But those were kind of the main points from that trailer. The things I think were most important and most interesting. I'm particularly excited for the sort of new customization and stuff. They did go over some things we already knew and showed us scapes and things like that, but a lot of those weren't changed much over Sport. So yeah, the things I do quite like are the kind of 3 different places you can buy cars, particularly the used car dealer is good to see back. Customization is exciting, dynamic weather is something that was necessary, and obviously a few of the new cars spotted are very exciting, and getting the full list of over 400 cars shown on screen there, which hopefully you guys will enjoy kind of digging into a bit more and finding some interesting things. But yeah, that is just going to be a short one, just summarising the kind of state of play stream, I guess, showcase of Gran Turismo. It was kind of bits of trailer and Kaz talking to us. But yeah, that was kind of 40 minutes long, so this is a sort of 6-minute summary and my thoughts. So hopefully you did enjoy that. It's been a while since I've kind of done a little mini review on a trailer, if you like. But there we go. Those are all of the bits of information I think you probably need to know from the most recent trailer. They were certainly the bits I found most interesting. But there we go. Do let me know if you enjoy this sort of short style of trailer, looking at a trailer video. But that is going to be all for today. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next video very soon.